Okay, so welcome ICC Level 1 participants. What you're going to do for homework this week, it should take you about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how much time you want to spend on this. So it shouldn't take too much time out of your week. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to the Above's website, which I will be sending you. I thought I'd make a video so it would help folks out in terms of being able to follow direction a little bit better, because it can get a little confusing if you haven't used this website before. So this is Geert Hofstede's website, who was an interculturalist who designed another cultural dimension theory. And so we specifically looked at Trompinar's 7 dimensions cultural theory last week or this week, which will also be carrying on to next week. And your group, whoever you were working with, will have an opportunity to present that to the rest of the groups. It'll be really easy, short little presentation, but it's an opportunity for everyone to kind of just showcase which dimension they were looking at. For those folks who weren't there, we were looking at again, just different dimensions in terms of how do you measure culture. And so Geert Hofstede was one of those interculturalists, and he measured culture on in a few different ways. One of those was through power distance, whether there was a high or low power distance within a culture. The other one was individualism versus collectivism. The next one was masculinity versus femininity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation versus the short-term normative orientation, indulgence versus restraint. And so what I'd like you to do is I want you to then compare different countries. So you're going to be sent this link. And what I would like you to do is right where it says compare a country, you can press any country. So let's pick Canada, and I will pick, So you want to pick the country first and make sure you click on it. There's another country, and then we will pick one more country. All right, so I have 3 different countries here, and you can see here under power distance, there's different scores. Individualism, different scores, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence, there's other scores. So what you can do now is read more about those chosen countries. And here at these tabs, what you'll do then is you'll just read a little bit about the countries that you decided to choose. And I want you to read a little bit around each of the difference between what does power distance mean and what does the score of 39 mean in a Canadian culture. Remembering that, again, we talked a lot about national culture and understanding that we all hold a lot of individual culture as well. We're going to be looking at some of these theories and exploring them a little bit more next week. So I just want you to spend about 10 or 20 minutes looking at different cultures. You can compare as many as you'd like, but just looking at the difference between all of those different cultures. And then we'll come together as a group. You'll have an opportunity to share. And what will be really surprising for some folks is just really understanding where maybe you thought the country was placed in terms of those different dimensions, or perhaps you already knew that, and as you're reading it, you'll be able to relate to some or a few. So I'll send you a little handout in terms of what each one of those means, the different dimensions in terms of power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. But I would like you to then just compare any countries. Try to compare at least 2, but you can compare more than that if you'd like.